You know, things are really weird in Canada when you hear about a story of $100 million in gold going missing from the Toronto Pearson's airport.
Need crew to take a score.
The story sounds like it came straight out of Grand Theft Auto. It's absolutely ridiculous to hear that there was over $100 million sitting in an airport. Now, reports have been described that this might possibly be only $20 million in gold and other valuable items. But of course, the headline of the day was $100 million stolen from an airport. Now, what I've been able to decipher out of this is they don't know where it came from, they don't know how it got there, and they don't know where it went. So you have to ask yourself, what and why?
The container contained a high-value shipment. It did contain gold, but was not exclusive to gold and contained other items of monetary value. The total worth estimated at this time in our investigation for the property is estimated at just over $20 million.
You know, it must be the week of everything in Canada that just seems absurdly crazy. $20 million in gold, high value goods stolen in Heist at Toronto Pearson's airport. When I heard this the other night, I just looked at it and went, well, that's interesting. Why and where did this come from? Well, apparently they don't even know. The police are baffled by all of this. A total of 20 million worth of gold and other high-value goods have been stolen after being offloaded from an aircraft at Toronto Pearson International Airport. Peel Regional Police say the heist occurred on Monday when a high-value container was stolen from a holding cargo facility after it was taken off the plane that landed at the airport. So it gets off the plane, they put it in this secure area, and it disappears. This is like Ocean's 11 meets Canada. This is Grand Theft Auto literally walking into Toronto Pearson's airport and saying, I'm going to take that. How fast was this set up? How long was this cargo there? There is very many questions that people are sitting there going, how does this even happen? After the cargo was secure in the holding facility, it was removed by illegal means. The container was holding gold and other high-value goods worth over 20 million. They're saying this is a very rare occurrence. Well, yeah, of course. This is on the level of the maple syrup theft that took place in Canada, where people stole out of barrels. They siphoned out of barrels of maple syrup and stole over $6 million worth of the syrupy goodness. It's absolutely insane when you hear of these things, especially in Canada, because this is not a place where you would think these major heists would happen. Like, this is straight out of a movie that this happened in real life right now. And this happened in Canada, which it's not something you hear of every day. And when you do, you can't help but talk about it. What in the world? Let me know down below. What would your plans be for you to actually have to go through with a heist like this?
Man, this is really coming together. You know, Rick, I've been busy working on writing a heist script. Yeah, you almost never bring it up. Oh, we should head over. Hey guys, what do you got? Pretty.
How many people are actually involved? You got to wonder if security is involved at the airport, how they got the passes to get through security gates at the airport. I worked at an airport at one point. There's security doors everywhere that you have to go up and scan to get through these passes. So the only way something like this happens, literally, is if someone is on the inside that's feeding information, or you're able to steal someone's cards. Like, this would have been months in the making. Reports are everywhere on the story, from the 20 million to $100 million in gold being taken. Now, $100 million in just gold, that's like 3,600 pounds of gold. You don't move that easily, especially this amount. Even at 20 million, you're looking at like 1,000 pounds of stuff. It doesn't move. You don't pick it up on a cart in the middle of an airport and put it on the cart and roll it down the tunnels. There's even reports, from what I'm hearing, that there was a tunnel that was built underneath the airport leading up to this, that is something else. I can't confirm or deny that, and it just, the sounding of that is absolutely insane. Just you deal with an airport and they have all these layers of security, and for a group like this to come together and actually bypass everything, get by everything, and steal this much property and valuable goods from an airport where, like, this was in a holding facility. Those holding facilities, the walls are encased in metal. They're not like your normal drywall or concrete. They literally have metal rods and metal mesh in between everything. So in order to get through that, you're either having to cut it with a torch or you're actually having to cut there through with a saw. So if they built a tunnel underneath and went from underneath, now you're dealing with layers of concrete. This is not something that you just do every day. You don't walk into an airport and do this. There is no way this was not staged and planned. Now, the worst part of it all is it sounds like they loaded it on an airplane and took off. That's the other part of this. I don't know what is false or what is true. There is hundreds of stories out there, and the news media is completely baffled. It looks like the police are baffled with this one. How a group was actually able to come in, heavily armed from the sounds of it, grab whatever this cargo was, and take off with it. This is something for a movie set. This is where we're going to have someone writing up a script for this in the very near future, and you'll probably see this come out. The Great Canadian Gold Heist of Toronto Pearson's Airport. It's going to be a very interesting tale down the road to tell our kids. Anyway, I've been your proud Canadian Phoenix Sinner Shadow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, you know what? It looks like I'm just covering some news topics, some random news topics of Canada this week.